I've published a video every day for the last 100 days all about AI. And in that time, I've spent hundreds of hours and thousands of dollars testing, trying, evaluating different tools I can use to be more productive at work, get better work done, and achieve better success for myself and my business, and ultimately just improve my life. And in this video, I'm going to share the 9 tools that I use every day to get further ahead faster with AI. Hey, I'm Craig Hewitt. If we haven't met, this is 100 Days of AI, publishing a video every day for 100 days all about AI. Today's day 99. I'm going to share the 9 tools that after 99 days of testing with AI, testing different tools, methodologies, frameworks, these are the 9 that I use almost every day. And now, first, a disclaimer. ChatGPT is nowhere on this list. I find it almost unusable at this point. And so if you're a big ChatGPT kind of fanboy, that's fine. That's where we all started. But this is next level stuff that's going to put your ChatGPT kind of to shame. Okay, we're going to go in order of the frequency with which I use the tool. And the first up is Claude. So Claude is my replacement for ChatGPT. It is the place I go anytime I want to have a kind of chatbot-based interaction with an LLM. Claude works a lot like ChatGPT. For me, it's just better. You can extend it by connecting it to Google Drive and things like that. It has a concept of like MCPs. It also has a concept of projects. These are dedicated places you can go to create a bunch of additional context, give things like system prompts around exactly what you want this thing to do, which just like dramatically increases the quality of the output you get from a chat interaction. So if you're not using Claude and projects for a thing you do over and over and over, you absolutely should. This would be kind of like a thing that takes the place of like a GPT from ChatGPT, but a little more flexible, okay? So for your chat-based stuff, Claude replaces ChatGPT exponentially better and integrates with other stuff we're going to talk about later. The next one is V0 by Vercel. So V0 is a way to chat with an AI and create amazing landing pages. So we can see a landing page I put together for an SEO tool that's like free and open source. You can go check out this page live. It's at seomachine.io. And I did this page in just a single prompt. So if you're putting together a bunch of landing pages or you're designing a website or something, you're like, hey, I don't have design skills. I don't really know what I'm doing. I don't know how to build a landing page. I don't really know how to build a website. I don't want to use WordPress. You don't have to. V0 is entirely free. And you just need an account on Vercel, which is kind of the parent company of it, which is where you're going to host a bunch of applications. If you get into vibe coding, which we'll talk about later, and a bunch of Next.js applications, you're going to host them all on Vercel anyhow. So just pay the $20 a month. You get landing pages and web applications for free. Okay. So I built this landing page in a single prompt. And you can see it right here. Create the site based on the prompt and description in this doc. And I got the prompt from Manus. Manus is an agentic platform. So as opposed to Claude, which is just like a chat platform. Don't get me wrong, Claude is really powerful. Manus takes it up like 5 levels where if you're like, hey, I want to go super deep on something. I want to really understand what's going on here. I want you to go do a bunch of research, learn, iterate, create a bunch of reports, and prepare a bunch of information for me. Manus is your tool. If you've been watching the channel here at all, you know I'm a huge fanboy. Don't get me wrong. Like, it's just the best tool out there. Like, if I have a really complex thing that I want to tackle that's not something that I'll do over and over and over, where I would use a Claude project, like this, virtual CTO I built for myself, like I'll come back and use this project because it has a whole bunch of really specific context and information here. But if it's like a thing I've never done before and I don't plan on doing it again, I'll come over to Manus and just throw something really complex at it. It'll go away, it'll do a bunch of research, it'll understand stuff, and it'll prepare a bunch of files for me. It's basically like my virtual research assistant. Manus is the only tool that I evaluated in my 100 days of AI that can also do like automated lead generation. You can just tell it, like, I want to target accountants in the Midwest that have more than 20 employees and who they're in the title of, like chief advisor or whatever. And it will go, it'll find them, find their email addresses, and find their LinkedIn. I did a whole video on it, and it's absolutely amazing. Manus is probably the only tool that I absolutely would pay for. I would use the free version of all of the rest of them if I could only pay for one paid tool. Okay, the next is a bit of a cheat here, but it is Vercel. Vercel is just a hosting platform specifically for Next.js JavaScript web application. So Next.js is just like a development framework that we end up building a lot in Claude and Claude Code. A lot of the vibe coding tools that you use will want to develop in Next.js because it's very fast. It's actually very robust and really performant. It is the kind of way that a lot of these platforms want to build. And so I'm like, cool, let's just like go with the flow. Vercel is the hosting and deployment mechanism for a lot of vibe coding tools that we would create in Claude Code. Speaking of Claude Code, that's next up on the list, and it is an absolute game changer. I see in the CEO communities that I'm in all the time, I see people saying, holy bleep, I can't believe I lived without Claude Code before. And so there's two different ways you can interact with Claude Code. One is here in the web or like on your phone, you can interact with it. The other one is in the kind of local development environment here. This is an application called Cursor. It's an IDE, an integrated development environment. But here is Claude Code, where it's just like it's doing a bunch of development all on its own. It's kind of like a chat bot that lives in the terminal. Terminal's like really super computer dork stuff for like where like people type in to do like it's typical hacker stuff. And Claude Code lives here, but you literally can just tell it, hey, I made a list of stuff for you to do. Please just like go do it. And it will. It's amazing. Claude Code is democratizing software development that literally anyone who can read and write can create really incredible software these days. You can do it locally in your IDE on your computer, or you can do it here in the cloud and just deploy an agent to go create a bunch of code and do a bunch of stuff and develop a software application for you. Pretty incredible. I think is absolutely revolutionary in the software and kind of entrepreneurial world. And you should definitely check it out. And it's included with Claude. So on $20 a month Claude plan, you get access to Claude Code. Incredible. Okay, the next one is Grok. And like politics aside with Elon, Grok is a really powerful tool. I don't use it like I do Claude every day. I don't use it even a lot, but when I use it, I really need it. And I use it for extremely objective evaluations. So something I might do is I might have a prompt that I put into like Claude. I might put it in ChatGPT just to see what it says. It's usually garbage. And I might put it in Google Gemini, which we're going to talk about in a minute. And then I'll take the results of all three of those and I'll put it into Grok, or I might put it in Manus too. And I'll take all 3 or 4 of those results and put it into Grok and say, hey, which of these is better and why? The other place that I use Grok is for fact checking. And the theme here is like Grok is very objective. It's not going to hallucinate. It's not going to tell you what you want to hear. It's just really objective. And so if I want like a comparison and an objective answer to something, or I want to make sure that it's telling me exactly the right thing, I'm going to use Grok. The next one is Google Gemini. And I use this specifically for the image generation, right? Create an image of me as a superhero. Pretty crazy, right? Okay, well, let's just see. Let's upload an image here and we'll see what it does. So this is the nano banana model you might have heard of. And we're going to upload an image of ourselves when I had more hair. And it's going to create a super highly realistic superhero of myself. Right? Not bad. Not bad. I mean, not perfect, but not bad either, right? So nano banana is the model name from Gemini. Gemini is made by Google for image creation. Really, really amazing. It's the only reason I use Gemini these days. Occasionally, I'll use it in conjunction with some stuff in like Google Docs or YouTube, but really it's just image generation. Okay, Perplexity, also kind of a niche application, and it is for news. So I use Perplexity on my phone every morning. It's the second thing I do after I check my Slack messages from my team. Is I'll go to the Discover tab and look at what is going on in the world today. I find it to be really objective, really concise. So you just click on one and it gives you just a couple paragraph breakdown of what's going on in this topic. Oftentimes it's all I want to know. Like, okay, the government's on strike right now or shut down or whatever, and a bunch of flights are canceled. Okay, cool. I needed to know that. That's cool. DeepSeek researcher warns AI could displace most jobs in 20 years. Cool, that is relevant to me and my AI stuff. I want to know what's going on here. I can go read this. This is really concise. If you want, you can click into the sources here. Okay, so that's the only place I use Perplexity. There's a bunch of ways you can use Perplexity, but for me, it serves this very specific purpose, and that's why. Okay, the next one is Replit. So we talked about vibe coding with Claude Code. And to be honest, most of the time, if I want to create something these days, I'll just go to Claude Code and build it, just because it's a little more flexible, it's a lot more robust, and it's a little more maintainable for me long-term. I can deploy something to Vercel, and it's just, I can create a piece of software from scratch with Claude Code. If you're not there yet and you want to vibe code something, you can either look at Google AI Studio or Replit. I kind of prefer Replit just a little bit. It's a little bit better tool. It is paid, whereas Google AI Studio is free. But if you're wanting to vibe code like a little internal app or a tool or something like that, Replit is a pretty good place to check out. They have a concept of an agent, so you can just tell it to do stuff and it'll just go do a whole bunch of stuff. And it can create agents for you. So Replit's a pretty powerful tool. It's kind of how I got started with vibe coding 100 days ago, and it's pretty awesome. Okay, and the last one, which is a bit of a bonus, is Notebook LM. So I've used Notebook LM to aggregate a bunch of content into a really concise format, and that's really what it is. So here you see I have 30 YouTube videos from somebody that I want to learn a bunch of their information, and I've consolidated it into a whole framework that they've taught over all these videos. And so this is just an example, but Notebook LM1 is an LLM that is only trained on the sources that you add. So if you don't add a source, it doesn't consider it. It's not going to go out into the internet and research and hallucinate. It's only going to pull information into here, into this middle pane, on information from the sources that you gave it. That's really important. So if you're doing research or you're wanting to consolidate a ton of information into a report or a synopsis or a framework or something, Notebook LM would be the choice that I would pick. Then you could load that back into Manus or into V0 to create a landing page or something. But if you have a mountain of information, you need to get into a different format to then feed into another LLM, that's where Notebook LM really fits into the mix for me. So those are the 10 tools that I use almost every day in the order that I use them. This is the culmination really of my 100 days of AI. And it's been so incredibly valuable for me to go through this learning process. And hopefully it's been valuable for you, for me to share kind of what I've learned along the way. And this is kind of the epitome of and this is kind of the ultimate recap of what I've learned over the last 99 days of testing AI tools. And these 10 tools is kind of where I land and where I spend most of my working time is interacting with these AI tools. So I hope it's helpful. I'm Craig Hewitt. This is 100 Days of AI. We'll see you tomorrow.